How to put together the Neustruder Bowden design. So what we have here is the lower block, the upper block, 608 bearing with the axle already in it. Here we have the M10 pneumatic fitting, as well as our assortment of screws, M335. I think today we have M345. These anything over 40 millimeters is fine. In a Bowden setup, you typically won't run into issues with it. So here we are, and then the four M3 nuts that you're gonna have on the back end. So the first step is gonna be just taking this and pressing it into the groove. So depending on your printer, should fit in pretty well. So it'll still be kind of free floating in there, but it's been all right. Next, all you're gonna do is put this with the groove side down, so it's flat in there, and then start driving these screws in place. So I had them together just for show, so you just run the screw through on the back end here. This is where it kind of helps to have longer screws. Sure, it doesn't look as neat, but I mean, it allows you to start them earlier. And all you're gonna do is kind of just press them in, and depending on your printer, it might be tight or it might be loose. But anyways, we'll just drive those in there and move on to the piece. What you can do is back them out to where they are loose, and the upper block can continue to float around. You don't want to tighten this down tight at all before having your filament installed on the machine. So being able to move it like this is a pretty good thing. And in the bottom here, you'll notice that they have some looseness and some depth to them. So don't loosen it so much that they pop back out of the channel that they're stuck in, because otherwise you won't be able to get any tension on them, and that's bad. The next thing we want to do here is just install this fitting. So depending on the looseness, you might be able to just hand tighten it, or you might need some sort of tool. I know this is wire clippers, but I mean, anything with a plier end will work just fine. Most plastics will self-tap pretty easily, and it is sized appropriately for tapping on these M10. So next, we'll talk about what to do with these 4 screws, kind of how to install it. I won't actually install it on the machine because my machine's busy right now, but hopefully it should be plainly obvious. The rest of the idea is that you'll take off the old extruder, which should be put on by a couple screws. I don't remember, it's been such a long time. But anyways, you'll take off the old extruder, and be mindful, you will knock this off when you take this out, so it will fall down, so catch that. And then you'll take the remaining M35 screws, that's the screw length that matters, and you'll put them into the holes and then reattach the motor. Before you reattach the motor, take off the old gear. Looks something like this. Alright, pretty close. And then you'll put on a new E3D gear, like that, or any sort of Mark 8 gear. Anything's fine. But you'll have to do some positioning, probably by trial and error, to get the positioning on there right, because you won't be able to adjust it once it's on there. So just give it a shot, and then you will reattach. You'll combine the two, so you hold it up here, put the block on, run one screw through, kind of get it threaded, thread the cross side, tighten them both down, and then you can tighten down the other two and fully install it. And once you're done with that, rerun your pneumatic line. It's not pneumatic, it's just the Teflon PTFE tube, but run it into here. Make sure you push it all the way in so it seats on the inner groove on the inside of there, and there you go. You have a brand new extruder that hopefully works pretty good. I like to think I get some pretty good prints out of it. Should have a video in the next week or two showing the performance of it with Nyloflex. So thank you.